I'm not right.
You're terrible, Muriel.
Talk to me.
You gonna do that pogo?
You've been talking to the cops. Today is a brand new day.
No, that's it. It's the vibe.
G'day, fellow Aussie film lovers, and welcome to another episode of Under Southern Screens, the most wearing the skin of your lover Australian cinema podcast. I'm Mitch.
I hate you, Mitch. I know I just spent the first couple of minutes saying that I appreciate you and that this lights my week.
Yeah.
Why do you do this to me?
I'm sorry, you threw the first stone.
I know that.
I actually still owe you one as well, so we will be doing another horror film.
This is like the Substance when they're like back and forth giving each other torment in life. All because I made you watch a musical. Like
Two.
Why?
Two musicals.
Okay.
You made me do two.
All right. Well, look, you know what? This was interesting.
Yeah.
Again, we're talking about something that's pretty relevant and
Yeah,
current.
I mean, it'll be like a couple months since this came out once this drops. For us, it's only been out for a couple of weeks at this point, I think.
It's hot in cinemas, and when you guys hear this episode, it'll be hot on Google Play.
Famously, we will be striking while the iron is stone cold.
Yeah.
It'll bounce right off.
Once we get to like season 2 or something, we'll have to think about how we rework
well,
this
so-
because it's just funny.
I mean, we mentioned in the Sydney Film Festival one that we were actually recording kind of on time.
Yeah, relatively.
For that one,
Yeah, we managed to get
because
that
we
going.
made a space for it. So maybe we should start considering actually planning our releases and spacing it more than just us being like, do you want to do like this kind of themed month? And like, yeah, sounds good. By the way, another themed month coming up next month, I think, for you guys. For us, it's in a couple months.
It's in the works. It's in the pipeline. Hey man, we work hard.
But we have another themed month coming up, so get excited. I'm really excited for this theme.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. But
we'll talk about this movie.
What are we watching this episode of USS, Mitch?
Today, a podcast with no spoilers is actually a podcast with a podcast with spoilers is dressed up as a podcast as no spoilers. No, I was trying to do the bit where it's like the demon's dressed as your lover.
Oh, right.
You know what? Screw it. Leviticus. We're doing Leviticus. Spoilers for Leviticus.
2026 hot new release.
This is like what, the third or second 2026 release film we've
We're keeping it current. We're keeping it hip for the Gen
Are we
Zs.
counting the dead?
Oh, who knows anymore, mate? Who knows anymore? It's so funny listening to that episode. Like a month later, the controversies died down. No one gives a crap about it.
As I say, striking while the iron is cold. Famous on the Southern Screens maneuver. We're the trend followers, but by about a month.
And no film marketing agencies have called, and it shows.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, but Leviticus. Let's talk about Leviticus because we're not here for brand deals.
No,
we're not
definitely
here for
not.
G Fuel. We're here for
Aussie films.
Exactly. We're going to talk about Leviticus. Interesting watch. Have you got an intro for us, Mitchy Poo?
I have an intro for us. It's actually been a while. My last intro was The Furies.
Damn, that was
ages ago. Well, I guess also like I went away for a bit as well. So I guess that's putting anyway.
He was in his holiday era.
I was in my holy area. Yeah.
Excuse me? Holy area.
Holy area. Hori Areola.
That's the one. Anyway, do your bloody intro, mate.
In a small Aussie country town that appears to have been painted by the Russo brothers and Christopher Nolan, a young man named Name experiences sexy cravings for another boy named... Oh, I need to do that again.
Sexy cravings. That was so awesome. I love the way you said that.
A young man named Name experiences sexy cravings for another boy named Ryan, and they make out. But when he sees the apple of his desire throwing rocks and making out with another man, he tattletales to the local church/cult and condemns the two men to a life of risking it all for a bit of nookie.
Ooh.
It's all fun and games for Name until his mum, an alternative Alice from Alice in Wonderland, who didn't learn that everyone's little quirks make them special and interesting, also rats him out because he bats for the other team, and he too must learn the lesson I've been living by since 14. Anyone who wants to make out with you is actually in a sting operation to murder you violently.
Well, oh no.
Leviticus's horror is a mix of It Follows and The Thing, but what the movie really is here for is the drama, which is a mix of Love, Simon, and I'm sure another piece of literature, but I'm gonna be real. I'm more read up on my horrors than I am my LGBTQIA plus media. Let's say Heartbreakers or something. I don't know. Also, before anyone comes at me, I'm well aware that a lot of horror is already queer media in its subtext and all that, but you understand what I mean.
You guys got it. You guys get it.
I'm not an ally, apparently.
Oh my god. Exposed.
I'm just not an ally.
He's getting them on side early.
Being the featured directorial debut for Adrian Chiarella, it premiered at the 2026 Sundance Film Festival. The movie has seen rave reviews from pretty much everyone. It's getting a worldwide release, and while this movie is good and great and excellent, it still peeves me off that the only Aussie films that are doing well on the world stage are depressing metaphorrors.
I know, yeah. Yeah.
I'm not to beat around the bush. It's good. Good movie.
I think it's good. I think it is good, not great, in my opinion.
Yeah, okay.
I'm spoiled by the other Causeway films, in my opinion. Just for context, this film, Leviticus, or as I like to call it, Leviticus.
What?
Is
I don't get this reference.
just a little funny.
Oh, it's just a little funny you're doing. This is no reference. I only understand referential humor, so I only get if
That's
someone
right.
else has done it before and then you're repeating it to me.
I'm just being whimsical, bro. Don't worry.
Oh, hate it.
Leviticus was see, I can't stop saying it now. Leviticus was produced by Causeway Films, which is a leader in the Australian film zeitgeist. They did Talk to Me, Bring Her Back, Babadook, all of these horror extravaganzas.
Mhm.
And this seems to be like the next sort of one in line of that, but I don't know, like it's good. It's not as good as Talk to Me, but it's still pretty good, and I'd recommend it. I don't know.
That's rough. Talk to Me is really good. That's a hard act of horror.
When you set the bar for horror for the next decade, same with Obsession. Maybe it's just because we've been getting so many really good horrors this season in general.
I say this every couple weeks, I feel, on this podcast, but I just fall behind on my new releases. So I'll go
Yes,
to a
yeah.
day of just 2 or 3 movies in one day just to kind of be a little bit still in the zeitgeist. So I went and this was in a 3-day bender for me.
Damn.
This was the first movie I saw at 10:30 in the morning.
That's a mood.
10:30 in the morning. I see this movie. I walk into the cinema. It's one of the Palace ones. I'll say that. It's one of the
Yes,
Palace
yeah.
ones.
Love Palace. I worked there for about 2 weeks over the
Oh.
Christmas break and they fired me. But anyway, I love Palace.
You ate too much popcorn. You were sneaking too much popcorn.
That's a story. Anyway, go on.
Most of the actual theaters in this cinemaplex are kind of small, but there is a couple of really big ones, and this was playing in the really big one.
The big screen.
When I booked my ticket, no one had booked a ticket, and I was like, well, I'm
Yeah.
sure someone will book a ticket. I walk in, not a single person besides me watched this movie in this
What a
giant.
shame.
But not only a shame, I was spooked. It was spooky.
It amplified the experience for you.
It
I
was
guess.
really terrifying because I kept seeing things move in my sideline as well. I was like, no, please. I haven't even been cursed by the man, the hairy man. I haven't cursed
I'm
by
not there, bro.
I'm not there. He can't do this to me. Oh, God. I legit yelled at one point because of one of the jump scares.
I love that.
Which I've
That's
never
funny
done
as-
before in a cinema. It's not even like this movie's that much more scary. The level of spook was amplified just because I was in this huge dark room by myself watching this movie.
What other films did you watch?
Oh, what other films? Like I saw Backrooms about 40 minutes after this.
yeah, right.
Backrooms was worse than this, but still decent.
you
Both
go,
directorial
okay.
debuts. So there you go.
Anyway, and then what was the third film?
The Sheep Detectives, which was the
Oh,
best
nice.
movie of the day.
That's good.
Awesome film. It's a film about don't forget the people who have died, because if you do, they don't get to live on through you.
Damn.
It's really deep.
In Hugh Jackman sheep movie.
It's insanely
That's
deep.
cool. I have to watch this now.
It'll be coming to Amazon Prime at some point, I think, 'cause it's an Amazon movie, which I do hate, but the movie itself is really good. The sheep are a little uncanny valley, but I got over it pretty quick.
That's alright.
It kind of was nostalgic. Remember when we were talking about Scooby-Doo?
Yes, yeah.
And there was all those other animated animal films?
Your Marmadukes and,
Yeah, Babadook.
and stuff like
That's
that.
Babadook.
Babadook.
Marmaduke.
See, I think that's the natural segue back to Leviticus.
Yeah, if
right
only if
there.
I didn't have another point to make after this. Man, we need to stop talking about this. But it was like those movies, but if they were good and fun.
That's good. Well, I also did a multi-film watch with
yeah.
Leviticus. If I can jump
Yes,
in.
please. No, pop off.
Mine
King.
might be a little bit more munted than yours because I went from Leviticus straight into Toy Story 5.
Oh, that is insane. Why did you do that?
I don't know. They were both on at the relatively the same time.
Was it good? Was Toy Story 5 good?
I have thoughts about Toy Story 5, but anyway, we're not here for that.
That's
I
fair.
don't want to
It's
get,
an
I don't want to
Australian
get
film.
flamed. And look, there were people in my cinema for Leviticus. There were about
That's good.
5 to 6 people, I would say.
Yeah.
A couple of couples, a couple of stragglers like me. The cinema I go to it's in an alternative part of town.
I'm gonna punch you.
I
Sorry.
know, sorry, that was awful. So you'll just have really like pretentious people coming in to watch whatever.
Are they the kind of people who come in with like a wine glass? And...
Yeah, or like they're the type of people that are scrolling Letterboxd before and
Oh,
after the
that's me.
film.
That is me.
No shade, I'm
No,
the
I do
exact
that.
same.
I do that.
I'm one of those people. If you live in Sydney, you probably know which suburb I'm talking about. But yeah, anyway,
You've doxed yourself.
that's the thing. I travel like 45 minutes to get there.
Really?
That's the insane thing.
Oh man, I love living near a cinema, which is not the same one I went to this time though.
I'm here for the culture. Leviticus.
In all seriousness, though, watching this movie, while I enjoyed it, the horror itself is actually not its weakest element, but definitely not its strongest.
I think it's weak sauce as hell. Unfortunately.
Damn, it's not so much like gotcha horror. It's more and to be fair, maybe we should. Look, I don't want to like say your sexuality for you, but I am a straight man.
Yeah.
And I don't know can you relate to this?
In ways.
Yeah. This is a film about social horror that a lot of gay people, a lot of people with the LGBTQA plus community feel.
Yeah. Anxiety and othering and just social panic, I believe.
These are points I didn't make. This is something that someone told me about in a conversation about. So I don't want to I'm not clever on this one. I feel like
you don't want to gentrify the conversation.
I don't want to steal this, but someone was explaining to me that a lot of the horror in this, they make you fear each other, like the AIDS scare and stuff like that. And and that kind of thing. The fear mongering that they surgically implant into each person to make them not want to be around each other. So I think, and I think the thing part of this movie where you're kind of like, is that the demon? Is that not the demon? I thought that was pretty tense. Look, could you tell most of the time? Yeah, you could, but I still think it worked because it's not so much that you can tell. The guy in the film, he can probably tell, but there's like the slight chance that it is the man that he loves.
Yes.
And you're like, no, please don't take the chance. But I also understand why you're taking the chance, but also just don't take the chance. Please, I beg you.
I think it was telling that the audience was sort of getting into it, like don't talk to him, that type of thing. Like that draws you in. But in terms of the actual horror, the first scare in the pool, I understand that it's more supposed to introduce you to the themes of the film and the main supernatural element, but as a opening scare, it was a bit sort of muted, and there wasn't really anything that reached those highs, unfortunately. But that's not what I came for, and I think I'll sort of get into this when we do our wrap up, but I feel like as someone with my brand of sexuality, which I'm not going to disclose live on pod.
That's fair.
I think that I wouldn't be able to get as much out of this as some other groups and communities of the LGBTQIA plus community. I feel like it's not made for me, and as a result, maybe my impact isn't the core focus. Maybe it's for these other groups, and I think that's similar to when an Indigenous film speaks on Indigenous issues, it's like, well, it's awkward to comment on because it's like I can say, oh, it had no impact, but it's like, well, maybe the movie isn't made for someone like me.
One of the crowning moments of why I stopped wanting to actually rate media is you guys wouldn't believe it, but this is actually not the first film podcast I've done.
Oh my god, going into the lore right now.
But in the other film podcast we did, my friend and I, Matt was not part of this one. Unfortunately,
I was not alive yet.
He actually wasn't born yet. It's true. We reviewed the movie I Saw the TV Glow, and that movie bounced off both of us. Neither of us were trans. And so in the conversation we had, we discussed a lot about how this movie had a lot of effect on the trans community. It was huge at the time.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I've not heard of the film before, but like I can imagine.
Yeah, it was huge. The number one liked Letterboxd review at the time, I'd like to think still is, I haven't checked in a while, so I don't know, is from a trans person saying that the movie actually gave them the courage to come out.
And that's what it's all about, yeah.
Which is beautiful. That's really beautiful.
That's a magic of cinema, is that it reveals that.
But the movie bounced off both of us. And it just wasn't for us, is the thing. And so then when it came to rating it, I was like, I don't like the fact that I'm rating this. Just because I didn't get what I got from it doesn't mean this movie isn't great in what it was trying to do. It just, what it was trying to do wasn't meant for me. I didn't push for it because you were on board pretty much the whole time. I said I didn't really want to rate movies in this podcast because if anything like this came up, Leviticus, I didn't want to have to sit there and be like, ignore my rating, but I'm giving a rating. It's
a bit sort of tone deaf in that regard. And it's like, who are we as well? Who are we to give definitive ratings on anything?
If you check my Letterboxd, I've rated it.
Here, we're here to discuss the film. We're not here to tell you to watch it. Well, no, we are here to tell you. We're here to tell you to watch it when we think it's worth watching. I'm crashing and burning.
It's hard. This is a hard convo. Yeah.
This podcast, I'm going to try and articulate it so I can bookend it. This podcast is a discussion of the celebration of Australian cinema, not an objective ranking of Australian films, because firstly, that's insane, and secondly, Australia is such a multicultural people with multicultural stories and multicultural experiences, and we are only two men.
Yeah,
That's
we're a
the
very
thing.
small demographic. We do not cover a very large demographic.
Exactly. But yeah, look, here's what I loved about Leviticus.
Yes,
because
please.
I came into this kind of negative. I don't know why I did that, because I actually I do think this movie is good.
The horror elements you weren't a fan of, but I'm sure there's other elements, because that's my thing. Is I think the horror isn't its strongest point. The drama is way better.
I agree. So that's where I think the film really, really shines, is the coming of age drama aspects of it. The romance between Name and Ryan is fantastic.
It's really beautiful, isn't it?
There's
It's
really,
really sweet.
really beautiful content there. Several scenes where I grew attached to them and their back and forth, and the complexity of who they mean to each other, and then also how the outside perceives them. But I think my favorite aspect of this film by far is the fantastic cinematography, the fantastic landscape of the film, the location it's set, and the amazing color grading. That is what I got out of this film. This film is beautifully shot. I love it. The expanse of the shots here, the wide open, the POV aspects of it, the industrial country town, such a unique Australian location. And that's something that I've been missing from a bunch of the films we've watched recently. A film that personifies place as a character. And the grading helps as well. The color in this film is beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, look, I made fun with my Russo brothers and Christopher Nolan bit, just because it is quite grey and dour, but it looks good. It suits it. It's good. That was a little joke from me to you. That was
it does look very Nolan, but I think just it works so well here. Even like establishing aspects of the horror, but also to personify this dark, dour world where the main characters are unwanted.
Yeah,
it's so oppressive.
Really sad. Yeah.
Yeah, and its visual sort of iconography. So much so, because I'm ideating a feature film at the moment, but I want my feature to look like this film in terms of its landscapes, in terms of its color, in terms of its energy of a big world impeding on these small people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I really got out of this film, and I want to stress that. That's what increased my enjoyment, because every single shot I was like, oh, look at that.
Oh,
that's good.
I love that.
Look at that.
That's great.
Take a look at
That's
that.
great.
I was like a dad looking at his holiday photos after a holiday. It's like, oh, look at that.
What a beauty.
Look at that shot of the big banana.
What a beauty.
That's what I really got out of it. And I like the supernatural concept as well. I think that was cool.
I mentioned in my little intro the It Follows / The Thing type horror. This is so It Follows.
Yeah.
In so many. Have you seen It Follows?
I've not, but I've seen The Thing, and I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, well, It Follows is horror. A lot of it's centered around stuff in the background.
Yes, yeah.
And this movie's horror is stuff in the background. There's one particular scene where Name runs away from the entity, and he turns and watches behind him, and then you see in the unfocused background that the entity walks out and starts walking towards him, and you're like, turn around. It's like Dora Explorer episode. You're like, he's behind you. You
Legit.
know, and that stuff always gets me. I'm like, please turn around. You need to turn around.
It's that looming aspect of it. It's like, oh,
yeah.
Gives me
and the fact
chills.
it's not running, it's walking, and so you're like, you have so much time to turn around, dude, and look, please. There's a little shout out, which is not actually mean anything because we're smaller than them in every single way, but there's a podcast called Scaredy Boys by an Australian podcast network called Sanspants Radio, and their thing is that whenever they watch a horror movie, they go, do the characters act smart?
Yes, yeah, that's important in a horror.
And I must say, these characters are dumb.
They are.
These are dumb characters.
They're young and they're in love.
To a certain point, they're young. I get that. And I buy into the moments that are like that. However, the one part that I just really like, and it was good horror until it became frustrating because I didn't like what he was doing. And I like Name. Name's a good character for horror.
He's relatable. He's compelling.
Exactly.
Performance by Joe Bird.
Brilliant performances by everyone. I think Stacey Clausen, who plays Ryan, is probably the best just because he has to do that switch between the entity and being actual Ryan quite a lot. Because we never see any other version of the entity.
It's very nuanced, yeah.
So I think he does a really good job with that. Also, surprise Mia Wasikowska, who does play Alice in Wonderland in the Tim Burton Alice in Wonderland, hence my joke. Yeah. I didn't realize she was Australian.
Yeah, mate, she's from Canberra.
Glad she got to escape. That's good for her.
Kind of a muted character, though. Like, it's like you don't really know much about her. That's the thing.
I don't mind that. But the things I didn't like. So it's the back end, right? It's where things are culminating. First of all, this movie moves really quick. Way quicker than you expect. I think It's 88 minutes long. It could have been a bit longer. But at the back end, this is where the horror is really coming together, and the entity's trying to get into Name's house. He notices it's the entity, but then there's a moment at the back door, the fly wire, and he's talking to it, and it's trying to talk to him. And we've met a lesbian earlier who was like, hey, this thing's going to learn how to pretend to be your lover better and better. It's going to figure out its mannerisms. It's going to figure out how to talk. It warns you that this thing's going to become a better chameleon as it goes along.
Yeah.
And yet he still continues to talk.
He entertains it
to the very suspicious young man at his back door.
He said, let me understand my like fake BF. It's a little bit silly.
Ryan Demon is like, please let me in. The entity is out here. I need to get in. And Name's obviously like, oh, I don't know. You could be the entity.
It's like, no shit.
And Ryan's like, no, please let me in. And Name's like, oh, my mom will be back soon. And then Ryan's like, well, then she'll see me and it'll prove that I'm real.
What?
And it's like, if you're actually worried about the entity, why are you just going to stand at the back door and let it come at you? You're not even looking around to check to make sure it's not coming for you right now.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness gracious me. But Name's still like, oh, I'm going to get closer. And then the entity punches through the fly wire and grabs him by the hair, which that was kind of cool.
That was cool. How does that work?
And then though, because it leads on to my next frustration. Name barricades the front door, but not the back, which is also wide open. The front door is way more sturdy than the back door. Curious choice. He ends up having to duke it out with the entity because it gets into his house. They end up in the bathroom. Oh, actually, when the entity was putting its fist into his mouth was pretty grot. I kind of like
I like
kind of
that.
cool. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I was like, oh my god, they're actually going to kill Name? That's crazy, dude. Horrible ending, but kind of cool.
And also very thematic as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. True. Yeah, very thematic. But he pulls out the lighter, lights the flame, and the entity's like, "Oh, I hate fire. Hate that. Don't do that to me. Just keep doing that."
What happened?
You have the fire. Like, the fire is obviously powerful.
You have the sword to slay the beast.
You now know what to do. And he's like freaked out. He's like, no, just get a big torch or something. And to be fair, at the end, he does burn down a building on it. And that was a fun ending. And I liked that there's this moment at that part where Demon Ryan and Name are on two different sides of this grate that at the start of the film, they're on the same side of to prove like there's a division between them now and stuff like that. Oh, it's good. It's good stuff. And Name is walking towards Ryan, who's like, please let me out of this burning building. I hate being in burning buildings. Not because I'm a demon or anything, but because I'm a normal guy who hates being burnt alive. And you're kind of like, Name, don't believe him. But Name didn't believe him, and he closes the thing and just lets him burn. And that's cool.
Very Terminator ending as well, which I thought was a cool sort of climax.
And then the movie basically ends from there.
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe I would have just liked to get a bit more context surrounding the cult family and all the background of it, because
what are you gonna get from that though? You know,
what is the goal of the cult family? What is the goal for them?
They're anti-gay. They
for them to expunge the gays or to convert the gays, or like, because they're still gay. That's the thing.
It's bad conversion therapy, which I guess maybe is a commentary on real conversion therapy because it doesn't really work. Does it?
Very true.
Let's talk about things that we like though, because I think we just ragged on the movie for quite a bit. I really like Joe Bird.
Joe Bird's good.
Little boy from Talk to Me.
He's all grown up now.
He's all grown up now, and he's having sex.
And he's having fun on a bus, which I love.
He is.
Yeah.
I think there's this really cool thing that he does with Mia Wasikowska, who plays his mum, where he just kind of slowly realizes she's not willing to protect him, or she's just not able to recognize how to protect him. And you can just kind of see the heartbreak in his face.
That no one's there for him.
She's not going to help him. And like, he finds love with Ryan and he finds companionship with Ryan, but he really plays the heartbreak of realizing your parent isn't there for you.
And it's such a relatable theme as well. That's the thing too. Like, it's so easy to feel othered in those scenarios and that type of thing. Even if people are supportive in the end, you will always feel like an outsider in the general community, especially these days, you know what I mean? Where there's so much social division and subconscious othering and gender roles. And I personally think that was a really compelling part of Name's character, was that no one, like, he obviously has the love and support of Ryan, but that isn't external support.
And it's also like dangerous because that love is being weaponized against him as well. There's no he has no safe love in his life.
All he needs to do is just move to Brunswick. That's all I'll say. Plenty of support there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe that's where they were going at the end of the movie. They were going.
It makes sense. They could go to the Brunswick Film Festival.
Brunswick Underground. Shout out.
I think some of the kills were kind of cool. Like, you don't really see a lot, but like, I think the implication of what happens is pretty cool.
Unfortunately for me, just that the scares just weren't super scary. I think that the mystery was played out very well when he's like, who are you talking to? You're like, you. And he's like, what? And I was like, everything else about this film, the sort of the meta-narrative, the undertones, the themes, the cinematography, man. The cinematography was just like delicioso. I eat that up for days. That's what kept me going through this film. And I think as a result, it is good. And I think if you are someone who has experienced some of the things the name has experienced, feelings of othering, feelings of anxiety around what love is and who really loves you and who is on your side and who you have to support you, I think you'll really get something out of this film. And I'm glad that Causeway was able to make a film like this. You know what I mean? And the director as well, like first time directorial debut. This is great. This is a great start for the guy.
I'm excited to see what he does next.
That was like very like the movie show, Siskel and Ebert ending right there. I'm excited to see what this young whippersnapper has.
All right, I'm going to now. Fine. How about that?
Oh, no.
I bet they wouldn't say that on the movie show, would they?
I'm going to live
I'm gonna do it on live
podcast.
TV. I have seen Leviticus, Babadook, Talk to Me, and Bring Her Back.
Yeah.
I do think out of those four, Leviticus is the weakest one, but I think it's a really strong oeuvre of film, though. I think all four of them are. I think it's got some harsh competition.
The people at Causeway, they're so talented at making great horror, producing great horror, catapulting young filmmakers to the forefront. I just love to see them do a coming of age drama or something like that, because
something
like,
other than this.
Some of the really, really strong aspects of Talk to Me, Bring Her Back, Leviticus have all been
coming of age stuff.
Those moments of downtime, those moments of human, like the moment in Bring Her Back when they're listening to Red Foo, for example, or the moment here at the school and that type of thing, like doing his day-to-day lifestyle stuff. That stuff is like really, really compelling to me, and I'd love to see them just give a genre shift. You know what I mean? I'd love to see them give that a go, and I think that would be like, this isn't cross promotion, but I want to work with Causeway. That would be a cool thing.
Let us work with Causeway, please.
So let's work with all the movie people.
Please.
Let's be big and famous like Chicken Shop Date. Hey, Mitch.
Yeah.
I've got a question for you, man.
Oh, please ask me this question. I think I know the answer.
I hope so. You've had a week to, buddy, just going.
Bloody hell.
What is the most Australian thing about Leviticus? See, it's fun, isn't it? It's fun.
It is good. It's good. It just keeps going. I think you gotta go Leviticus. I think that's fun though. You gotta finish it off. I think if you leave it open, I find it. For me, I just don't find that satisfying.
You find it disgusting.
Whoa. I mean, yes, but whoa. To me, the most Australian thing about Leviticus was the fact that the Flywire door was garbage and couldn't stop natural fly from getting in.
We've got a good one at my house.
We don't at mine. There's actually straight up just holes in it that you could like rip open. I was looking after a cat at one point, and I opened the doors because it was hot. I looked away to do something in my lounge room, looked back, and the cat was like outside. I was like, how'd you do that? And it turned out there's just a giant hole in the flywire that I just hadn't seen.
Your cat pulled the Leviticus through the fly.
Yeah, exactly. Well, didn't even have to punch through though. It just walked through because I was like, what the? Anyway, did not open that door ever again.
That is an Australian thing, though, of just flywire
just
that
garbage
is just
flywire.
Perpetually broken. Yeah. This is just Bunnings Warehouse talk.
Bunnings Warehouse. Lowest prices are just the beginning.
Our flywire, it's one of those like what is it called? Like a rolling one? You know what I mean? You roll it in and out. I'm doing a hand motion while I do this, but you roll it in and out.
No, like it goes.
And it's so thin that you can't actually see the actual wire. And so we've had guests over and like older family members and that type of thing just walk into it and we're like, I'm sorry, don't sue us, please.
You need to have like a metal backbone to it. You can't just have the wire itself. You gotta have
that support,
like the lattice type thing.
You can tell I don't go to Bunnings that much.
Yeah, me either.
Well, we tell you what we're doing next week, but it's not set in stone yet. So what next week's episode is, you'll find out then. Where can we find out more of the podcast, Mitch?
On TikTok, Instagram, Threads, and YouTube, you can find us at Under Southern Screens Pod.
Give us a follow.
You can also send us emails at undersouthernscreenspod@gmail.com.
Give us an email.
Give us also a lovely review with a 5-star rating. It does actually help us. It will get us into other people. It gets us on the charts, and then other people can hear our crappy takes, and everyone can share the suffering. Suffering shared is suffering halved. All right, so get us out there.
Exactly right. There's strength in numbers, as they say.
Exactly, and eventually you can send enough emails to us to make me do my promise of live podcast.
How did we get to here? That's what I want. We're 22 episodes in. We're already.
I don't know. I just find it funny. I don't know what it is.
We'll see if this makes it to the final episode.
Yeah, maybe cut this out.
Yeah. And keep an eye on those southern screens. Thanks for listening to another episode of Under Southern Screens. We'll be back next week to talk more films down under. We just want to attribute that our opening title is Heavy Duty by Zoo, and our closing title is Heavyweight by Fell Creek. Thanks so much for listening, and Mitch and I will see you in the next episode. See you next time. Under Southern Screens would like to acknowledge the stolen lands on which this podcast is recorded and produced, and pay tribute to the Wurundjeri and Woiwurrung people of the Kulin Nation and Camaragal people of the Eora Nation.
Sovereignty was never ceded, and we pay respect to all Indigenous elders past, present, and emerging. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land.